This week I'm testing a Chrysler Pacifica minivan. We haven't had many minivans on the channel, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to do a first impressions video, get you some of my initial thoughts on this Pacifica. I'm actually driving this about 3,000 miles this week with my wife down to Dallas and back. So we're going to be doing a pretty long road trip in this, spending quite a bit of time, and I'm going to give you guys a full review later on, but let's get some first impressions in while it's clean before it gets all the bugs and the road dust and grime on it. Show you guys what I think of this Chrysler Pacifica. Lots of great features with these vans, as many of you know. New for 2020, we have a panoramic sunroof, really cool infotainment options in the rear seats, and of course, Chrysler's famous stow and go. How you operate this, just press a button here to move the front seat forward. This just kind of hangs out there. You pull the stow and go strap, and everything just magically pops up out of the floor. And to put this back, you just kind of do that. And look at that, you have a seat. To put it all down again, super simple. Pull the strap again, and it just vanishes into the floor. Pretty awesome. Look at that. Amazing. We're going to leave it like that because I kind of like this configuration. Everything is one press of a button to close and open and move things. I love the space you get in minivans. It's just incredible. This one even has a vacuum in it, which is very neat. Really low, deep loading floor here. You can stow these seats as well. They fold completely flat, which is very neat. It's like minivan origami. Pretty cool. And we'll put them back up. Let's see if it can handle both the seats and the tailgate at the same time. I think it can. Good. The first thing I noticed when I got into this Pacifica was just the strange color combination in the gauge cluster. So you get kind of this cool blue that matches the exterior paint pretty well. I don't know if that's just a coincidence. I think it is with this gauge display. And then you get some really weird color combinations with the fuel meter and your coolant temperature. And there's this kind of teal, blue, red, low res numbers and displays. It's okay, it gives you a lot of good information, but I just kind of thought it was strange in an otherwise fantastic design throughout this Pacifica. The infotainment is one of the best, I think, as far as response and touch display usability. There are a lot of menus, a lot of settings in here, but it's quick to respond and pretty easy to access once you get everything set to your preferences. You have some cool reverse cameras, 360 cameras. The door's open right now, so we're not showing the camera to the left. They're not the most high resolution displays, but they work. Tons of storage space and places to put things. You even get a little rear view fisheye mirror to spy on the family. Very comfortable seats, though I will be the judge of that after a couple days in them. Let's look in the back here. Still rocking the V6. There's an adequate amount of power. And this is always a fun experience in the back. You can play video games, you can play solitaire, Sudoku, checkers, all sorts of things, and these screens communicate with each other, so you can kind of play against one another, which is neat. HDMI, USB, headphone jacks, remote, all the rear seat infotainment for the big and little kids that you could want. All right, I think that kind of sums everything up I wanted to talk about initially. Let's take this for a drive, and yeah, we'll see how it does here on the road. Oh yeah, and you get little window shades back there too, which is very cool. Rotary shifter, very space efficient. Your parking brake is just a button right there. Leaves room for many other activities. Nice, tight turning radius. Once warmed up, this transmission shifts really smoothly. Buttery smooth shifts between gears. You can set lane keep assist and auto stop start very easily here with the 2 buttons. And lane keep is a pretty unintrusive system. It'll just give you a little bit of a nudge when you're straying outside of your lane, which is very nice. Let's do a little braking test in 0 to 60 here while we have some open road. Brakes feel great. And decently quick as well. Not too bad. Put it in low mode, see how it handles this entrance ramp. Pretty reasonable handling too. Charlie was telling me from Daily Motor that the Pacifica minivan pulled 0.88 G or something along those lines in the current driver testing, and outhandled some sports cars in some scenarios, which is pretty surprising. Oh man, you guys, this is going to be great on this road trip. I think a minivan is kind of the ultimate road trip vehicle. Yeah, you can get into your SUVs, you can get into your sedans, but this has a really nice blend of size, comfort, practicality. I still have a pretty high driving position. I'm getting pretty good fuel economy on the highway here, probably about 28 miles to the gallon, though I will report back on what my actual real world fuel economy will be when the week is over. We'll do some calculations at the pump and see what turns out. Otherwise, though, those are my first impressions on the Chrysler Pacifica. I think this is going to be a great vehicle this week. I'm excited to get a lot of time behind one of these. Charlie enjoyed this so much that he actually went out and bought an old Chrysler Town & Country. I think he only got it for a few $100. So that's one of his kind of beaters and daily driver vehicles. But this is a little bit more expensive at around $49,000. But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. We'll come back at you guys with a road trip video and a full review later this week. Also do a sound system test. This just has the base Alpine stereo, not the premium sound, which would have been nice, but that's okay. This is probably going to sound just fine. Until then, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.